Krishna dear devotees, and welcome to today's Nectar reading session. Today we will have the amazing story of Kaliya. And this is a story, what is very, very amazing in this pastime is the intense contrast that is there between the state of the Brijbasis when they see Krishna in the coils of the snakes, and it's so much agony, so much suffering, so much anxiety for Krishna's safety, and then suddenly the whole scene turns, and Krishna then start to dance on the hoods of Kaliya, and then it's amazingly beautiful, charming, and so it's like a big switch of emotional intensity, and there are many contrasts. Like for example, when Kaliya is coming, who has come in my lake? He hears Krishna swimming, and he's there, and he sees Krishna with such a beautiful and peaceful form and glance, and so it's a pastime that brings like a lot of emotions, very contrasting emotions. They were usually we take three inspiration, three meditation for each reading. Today was very difficult to choose. I had 5 or 6 that were so beautiful that I did not know which one to take off. But finally I managed, and we will have our 3 meditations. So we will start by leaving, oops, the icon can be removed. I think we can start by entering the realm of Sri Vrindavan Dham. I will share the screen, and we will enter, we will go in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So we will go in the place where we can still see today the tree of from where Kaliya was jumping into the river, where Krishna was jumping into the Yamuna to chastise Kaliya. So I think many of you might know already this place. So please feel like you are entering into the picture, you are entering into Sri Vrindavan Dham. Observe the tree that is still alive today. Observe the ground around the tree, and now close your eyes, and in your mind's eyes we can approach the tree and offer obeisances. Feel the dust of Vrindavan on our foreheads and on our body. And we can now circumambulate the tree with great respect, knowing that this tree is a very special soul. Now, raise your head again the tree. You might humbly take the tree in your embrace. This tree had seen directly the pastime of the Lord and can grant us also the vision of this pastime. Let us pray to Him. We will have the first meditation. Bhakta Alap, would you like to read the first? Not sure if it's fully there. Shyamlal, are you there, Shyamlal?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Are you able
So I
to?
can, yeah, Prabhu, I am just on the way to temple, but yeah, I can read this one.
Okay.
Kaliya saw Krishna's beauty surpassing the sublime elegance of a tamal tree. Krishna's eyes looked peaceful and pleasing, and his handsome, effulgent form easily defeated the sweetness of Kandarpa. Seeing Krishna's body covered with fragrant yellow sandalwood pulp easily destroys one's false pride.
Please read one more time.
Kaliya saw Krishna's beauty surpassing the sublime elegance of a tamal tree. Krishna's eyes looked peaceful and pleasing, and his handsome, effulgent form easily defeated the sweetness of Kandarpa. Seeing Krishna's body covered with fragrant yellow sandalwood pulp easily destroys one's false pride.
Thank you, Shyamlal. Actually, where is this picture? Okay. Sorry, I had, yeah, just I had like a little mistake here. Here it is. Okay. So good. Okay, you can see the picture of Kaliya, who is full with anger, but looking at very beautiful Krishna, who is in the water. You can see Kaliya is very ferocious, nice, very, very soft and sweet and beautiful. Please also look very carefully at Krishna, and Shyamlal, please read one more time the meditation. We can close our eyes and see in our mind's eyes.
Kaliya saw Krishna's beauty surpassing the sublime elegance of a tamala tree. Krishna's eyes looked peaceful and pleasing, and his handsome, effulgent form easily defeated the sweetness of Kandharpa. Seeing Krishna's body covered with fragrant yellow sandalwood pulp easily destroys one's false pride.
Thank you, Shyamlal. We will go to the next meditation. And this is like a very, very intense situation when the Brijvasis come and see Krishna in the coils of Kaliya. And we see Balaram very composed and very sure about what is happening. So please watch carefully the picture. Very, very beautiful drawing. And so next meditation, maybe Jennifer, if you like to read.
Though standing on the bank, they felt they too were drowning in the poisonous lake. Their hearts burned just like a person afflicted by poison. The women fell on the ground like creepers, thrown down by a high wind, and the men collapsed like uprooted trees. Though standing on the bank, they felt they too were drowning in the poisonous lake. Their hearts burned just like a person afflicted by poison. The women fell on the ground like creepers, thrown down by a high wind, and the men collapsed like uprooted trees.
Please close your eyes and try to see it in your mind's eyes.
Though standing on the bank, they felt they too were drowning in the poisonous lake. Their hearts burned just like a person afflicted by poison. The women fell on the ground like creepers, thrown down by a high wind, and the men collapsed like uprooted trees.
And we will have the last meditation before we start the reading. And this is Krishna when he started to dance on the hoods. You can see carefully the picture. We can see Krishna is also using mudras as he sings. And he's really giving giving strength on his foot, on his dancing steps. He holds a lotus flower in his hand. Alap, are you there? Are you able to read the last meditation?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I'm working actually.
Okay, then nice that you are with us. And maybe Vajanti, you can read it.
Krishna quickly stepped from one wood of the serpent to another. He moved rhythmically on the hoods of the serpent and expertly danced in such a way to crush and suppress each of his hoods. As the beat, drum, 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 dreamy, dreamy, tung, 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 boomed faster and louder, Krishna's brilliance increased more and more. Krishna quickly stepped from one hood of the serpent to another. He moved rhythmically on the hoods of the serpent and expertly danced in such a way to crush and suppress each of its hoods. As the beat, drum, 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 dreamy, dreamy, tung, 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 boomed faster and louder, Krishna's brilliance increased more and more.
Please close your eyes, try to see it in your mind's eyes. You might remember the picture that we were seeing before.
Krishna quickly stepped from one hood of the serpent to another. He moved rhythmically on the hoods of the serpent and expertly danced in such a way to crush and suppress each of his hoods. As the beat, drum, drum, dreamy, dreamy, tung, tung, boomed faster and louder, Krishna's brilliance increased more and more.
Thank you. So we will start the reading. Shyamlal, are you able to start the reading, or is it too difficult for you?
It is a bit difficult, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu.
Sure. Then maybe I start maybe myself first. So chapter 9, vanquishing the Kaliya serpent. One day, Vanamali Krishna left his brother Ram at home and went with his friend to tend the cows and play beside the Yamuna. At that time, the serpent Kaliya, the son of Kadru, had taken shelter in the Yamuna, the daughter of Suryadev, to hide from his enemy Garuda. This venomous snake, the embodiment of the mellow of fear, Bhayaras, existed in Vrindavan like an incurable heart disease. He was like Rudra's fire of devastation that destroyed the three worlds. The burning venom of the great serpent Kaliya constantly heated and boiled the water of the Yamuna, who felt like she had a black ball of fire within her belly. Indeed, the poisonous vapors polluted the air and caused birds flying overhead to fall down into the water. The entire atmosphere was contaminated by the inauspicious presence of Kaliya, who continually harassed the inhabitants of Vrindavan. The forceful exhalation of the fiery poison from his nostril illuminated the Yamuna's waves with a crimson golden radiance. The beauty of this scene resembles the waves of the salt ocean glittering under the moonlight. The dense black smoke lingering above the Yamuna indicated the presence of a raging fire within. Nothing could live in the Yamuna except Kaliya's wives and sons, due to the disastrous situation caused by the burning poison of that crooked serpent. As one takes shelter under an umbrella, Kaliya stayed safely in a deep lake within the Yamuna. The cowboys and cows sipped some water from the Yamuna to quench their thirst. Although the Gopas have eternal transcendental bodies, by the supreme will of Krishna, they fell unconscious immediately after drinking. Krishna, the destroyer of demons, worried for a moment about his friends, and then he quickly revived them with a sidelong glance. It appeared that life-giving nectar dripped from Krishna's lotus eyes. Returning to consciousness, the boys felt astonished and smiled gently. They warmly embrace each other and talk amongst themselves in great happiness. One cowboy said, "Krishna is wonderful. He rescued us, just like he did when he wandered into the cave-like mouth of Agasura. We almost died from drinking that poisonous water, but Krishna mercifully saved us. It seems that he has given Sanjivani Ras to revive us." Thus speaking thus, all the Gopas looked lovingly at their dearest friend. Jennifer, would you like to continue?
Since Krishna had descended from the spiritual world, specifically due envious demons, he immediately climbed to the top of a very tall tree beside the Yamuna. That tall Kadamba touched the clouds and kissed the sky. With a desire to crush the pride of Kaliya, the incomparable Lord Krishna prepared himself for a fight. He gathered his locks of hair, retied his turban, tightened his belt, and clenched his lotus hand into a fist, eager for victory. Krishna's tender body and slender waist displayed the prime of his joyful youth. Totally relaxed, Krishna gently glanced toward the coward boys and said, "Do not be afraid, my friends. My transcendental effulgence will dispel all misfortune. Just wait here and watch the cows." His face illuminated by a row of radiant teeth, Krishna beamed a confident smile. With his fathomless intelligence and charming characteristics, Krishna easily removes the pride and arrogance of materialistic people. Krishna enthusiastically dived into the Yamuna, just as a kingfisher dives into a river to catch its prey. Krishna's forceful dive in the water pushed the Yamuna over her banks. The deadly poison from the serpent rose up into a mass of foam, cresting on the high waves of the river. The cows and cowherd boys ran away in fear upon seeing these threatening waves rushing toward the banks. Krishna dove so deeply into the river Yamuna that it seemed he went to trample the Patala region of the universe. Krishna sported in Kaliya's lake like a lordly elephant, swirling his mighty arms and making the water resound in various ways. This agitation caused the poisonous water to burst into flames. Unable to bear the vigorous vibrations, Kaliya felt as if his life was being threshed out of him. Kaliya saw Krishna's beauty surpassing the sublime elegance of a tamal tree. Krishna's eyes looked peaceful and pleasing, and his handsome effulgent form easily defeated the sweetness of Kandarpa. Seeing Krishna's body covered with fragrant yellow sandalwood pulp easily destroys one's false pride. Despite beholding this wonderful darshan, the envious Kaliya felt Krishna to be the source of an intolerable fever. Shaking with anger, Kaliya furiously attacked Krishna, bit him on the chest, and attempted to squeeze Krishna to death by completely enveloping him in his mighty coils. Kaliya considered how this person had so shamelessly violated his watery domain. Affected with doubt and suspicion about the identity of Krishna, who removes the power of the best of the snakes, Kaliya pondered, who is this unknown person who has created such a disturbance? And where has he come from? The proud, imprudent, materially attached Kaliya wondered how Krishna, a mere boy, blissful and beautiful with blooming youth, could have so effortlessly subdued the massive Aghasura. Finally, he concluded that Krishna must have the ability to expand himself to any unlimited size. Nevertheless, Kaliya tried to crush Krishna by expanding his own body to monstrous proportions. Failing his endeavor, Kaliya succumbed to exhaustion.
Look, on one level, the supremely independent Lord created an inauspicious atmosphere of impending death, just to see how much love the Vrajavasis had for him, and to make them impatient to run to him. But on another level, Krishna, his handsome chest adorned with the glistening Kaustuba gem, performed these pastimes of being bound by Kaliya just to satisfy his desire to dance on the hoods of the serpent. He merely awaited the approval of his Vrajavasis friends and relatives standing on the shores of the river Yamuna. Observing the Lord of their heart trapped in the snake's coils and submerged under the water, the cows and cowherd boys, filled with fear and lamentation, paralyzed by grief, the cowherd boy froze in place, held their palms on their foreheads, and wept profusely while crying out piteously to Krishna, how painful, we cannot bear to live. And seeing the whole world as void and nearing destruction, they collapsed on the ground. Feeling that they had entered an ocean of poison, the cowherd boys nearly died from the devastating inundation. Viewing the Vrajavasis enduring such misfortune, the demigods, their hair loosened and clothing disheveled, felt their hearts pierced with flaming arrows. And in great distress they called out, "Alas! Alas!" The three types of fearful omens named, those on the earth, in the sky, and in the bodies of living creatures, which announced imminent danger, descended upon Vrindavan at that moment. Jackals shrieked harshly at the sun. Smoke and dust, as dark as the horns of a buffalo, blanketed the sky, and the sun appeared dull and lackluster. High winds howled in every direction, and violent earthquakes shook the earth. Afflicted by the inauspiciousness, the left side of men's bodies and the right side of women's bodies trembled. Anxiety seized the atmosphere and disturbs everyone's mind with grief and discontent. Perceiving all these inauspicious omens in his village, Nanda Maharaj and the Gopas understood that a devastating time had assailed the earth. The hostile, unfavorable atmosphere submerged their hearts in the mud of tearfulness. Although they had innumerable experiences of the unlimited majesty of Krishna, due to the covering potency of Yogamaya, they knew only his sweet intimacy. Forgetting about the Lord's omnipotence, they simply worried about the safety of Krishna. While lamenting over the disturbances, some of the learned Gopas said, "Oh, how dreadful! Due to negligence and naive, our innocent Krishna has wandered alone into the dense forest, which is infested with various demons that always bring calamities. And he has gone there without the company of his intelligent and powerful elder brother Balaram. Without our beloved Krishna, we cannot live. But since we cannot fathom the actual situation from here, let us invoke good fortune by chanting Shiva, Shiva."
Shri Hari Govinda, Prabhu, would you like to continue?
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry for being late.
No problem. Happy to have you.
Overwhelmed with fear and lamentation, the Vrajavasis quickly left their eating and drinking and rushed out to find Krishna. The whole village joined, from 1-year-old babies to elderly men. They followed the path marked by Krishna's footprints, which bore the unique symbols of a flag, barley corn, thunderbolt, lotus flower, and elephant goat. Nanda and Rajeshwari, Yashoda, Balaram, the elderly Gopas, and all the children hurried along the path to the bank of the Yamuna river. From a distance, they saw Krishna trapped and motionless within the coils of the venomous black serpent. Stepping closer, they immediately understood the situation just by seeing the facial expressions of Krishna's friends lying unconscious on the bank. Witnessing this, the Vrajavasi succumbed to anguish and confusion. Those standing on the bank, they felt they too were drowning in the poisonous lake. Their hearts burned just like a person afflicted by poison. The woman fell on the ground like creepers thrown down by a high wind, and the men collapsed like uprooted trees. Filled with panic, Nand Maharaj cried out in a voice choked with tears, "Oh, my darling son, why have you suddenly done this? Oh, dearest of all, please come back to us." Gripped with lamentation, the cowherd men fell down unconscious on the ground around the king of Vrindavan. Yashoda fainted with equal distress and sadness, sympathizing with her and wailing piteously like kurari birds. The elderly gopis collapsed on the ground next to the queen of Vrindavan. At first, the young gopis could neither cry nor lament as they stared at Krishna with unblinking eyes glittering with love. Then their piteous wailing strained the atmosphere, and the downpour of their tears muddied the bank of the Yamuna. Taking shelter in the embrace of the Sakhi of personified unconsciousness, they fell flat on the ground like creepers and trees cut down by a hurricane. Though fainting, the gopis retained their live airs by recounting the pastimes of the beloved of Vrindavan. Even in that miserable state, the gopis somehow maintained their existence. Indeed, intense lamentation permeated the atmosphere.
Thank you. Mataji Tanu, would you like to continue?
Yes, Prabhuji. Seeing the extent of Krishna's influence, Balram looked on with amazement. He said, "O father, because Krishna is so dear to you, your heart is burning and you are overwhelmed with lamentation. Nevertheless, you need not to be in anxiety. O Yashoda, do not cry or lament anymore. Please hear my words and be patient. O Vrajvasis, you should not be so grief-stricken now that you have ascertained the extent of the danger. You are unaware of the magnitude of my younger brother's heroism, which always increases the joy of others. I am the only one who knows the extent of his transcendental identity. Among the greatest demigods who understand even a fraction of his opulence. Please be steady in intelligence. For the lion like Krishna, it is a paltry achievement to subdue the demon Kaliya. Just as the wind cannot conquer a mountain, or as darkness can never cover the sun, or as clump of grass can never extinguish a forest fire, similarly, Krishna, who wears Makara earrings, is not the least bit afraid of this tiny water snake. Therefore, give up your grief. Any moment now, my brother will finish this lowly snake and come out of the water. You can have complete confidence in my words. By his illusory energy, Krishna bewilders both the demons and the demigods. He possesses unlimited transcendental opulences and has a most elegant form. He relishes his own prowess within and without, and everyone knows his boundless power. To the surrendered soul, he is an ocean of happiness. Therefore, to remove the acute distress of his father, mother, and other relatives, Krishna decided to free himself from the serpent the moment Balram, who glowed like pure moonlight, finished speaking. And wrapped in the thick coils of that black snake, Krishna looked as exquisite and striking as the full moon embraced by the branch of a dark tree. Releasing himself from Kaliya's clutches, Krishna lifted his lotus face and cast a blissful smile toward the Vrajvasis. Conch shells blasted from the assembly house of the demigods. The dundubis pounded, dhun 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 dhun, and the bharis, kettle drums, reverberated deep rhythms. The thunderous combination of these sounds of victory threatened to break the eardrums of all listeners. Gradually, the Vrajvasis regained their lives upon hearing the auspicious drums of the demigods. As they pushed themselves up from the ground with their arms, they heard that joyous celestial music spreading in all directions and saw Lord Balram standing nearby. Everyone shivered in fright upon noticing that extremely fierce serpent whose body looked blacker than iron and who emitted foam and sparks from his mouth. The effulgence of the gems on his 100 heads diffused throughout the sky. Sparks shot from his burning eyes, and gaping mouth resembled a pan full of boiling ghee. Raising his hoods, Kaliya pounced on Krishna. The pride intoxicated Kaliya appeared licking the upper limits of the sky with his 200 tongues. To enact yet another playful pastime, Krishna slipped from Kaliya's grip and mounted yet another of his heads, which resembled a garden of large swaying creepers.
Pointing towards Krishna, Balaram said, "Look at Krishna, his tender body and eyes beautified with kajal, appear before you as personified death for the Kaliya serpent. His priceless jeweled ornaments sparkle 1,000,000 times more than the fiery spark dancing inside Kaliya's poisonous mouth. Krishna has all the power to finish this demon and is artistically dressed with a turban, earrings, yellow cloth, and a fragrant forest garland. His beautiful curly hair has loosened during the fight to free himself from the grip of the serpent. Tightening his cloth, Krishna is revealing a desire to kick down the heads of Kaliya and enjoying a dance there. Look, just to please all of you. Krishna is determined to extinguish the dazzling gems on the hood of the serpent. Krishna's body glows with the desire to dance and diminish the radiance of those jewels. Understand this deeply and try to realize the purpose of my words. Do not worry anymore about this insignificant calamity. Krishna smiled and relished the mellow of laughter while Baladev spoke. The Vrajavasi forgot their lamentation upon hearing Balaram's reassuring words, and although still overwhelmed with fear due to seeing the gigantic size of the king of the snakes, they now blossom with happiness upon seeing Krishna, whose gleaming, joyful eyes looked as pleasing as kunda flowers. Before enacting his dramatic dance on the hoods of Kaliya, Krishna cast a sidelong glance to enliven his friends and relatives, who brimmed with affection and complete attachment to him. Accompanied only by his mind, Krishna displayed amazing skill as the best of dancer and the savior of his devotees. The Siddhas, the Kinnaras, the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, and other demigods immediately arrived there to show their respect and appreciation for Krishna's unique dance performance. This joyful group of demigods exhibited their talent in music, singing, and dancing by playing sweet melodies on mridangas and other instruments. Shri Krishna, the unlimited preserver of wonder, who is expert in all artistic skills, appeared to be cruelly smashing down Kaliya's heads with his feet. But actually, Krishna showed him the greatest mercy. The demigods delighted in the variety of fast, slow, and medium dances shown by the Lord as they kept time with the right rhythms. The instruments of the demigods softly sounded tia ta 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 tia, tai tai tai, taya ta ta, and they also played loud and high-pitched sound.
Jennifer, would you like to continue?
The demigods brought out newer and newer melodies by combining different notes, sounds, and rhythms. Responding accordingly, Krishna quickly stepped from one hood of the serpent to another. The demigods, however, could not keep up with the unique self-styled dancing of the Lord. Krishna, the supreme controller, moved rhythmically on the hoods of the serpent and expertly danced in such a way to crush and suppress each of his hoods. As the beat dung dung dung, drimmy drimmy, tung 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 boomed faster and louder, Krishna's brilliance increased more and more as he stomped on the serpents' heads. The extraordinary expertise of Krishna's dancing crushed the pride of the Apsaras and Gandharvas. Although feeling embarrassed, they tried their best to keep pace with Krishna. Defeated in their attempt, they just danced delightfully on their own. The resounding sounds of dundubis, the deep reverberations of kettle drums, the chanting of hymns by the sages, and the showering of flowers from Nanda Kanana exhilarated the Rajvasis and depressed the demons. The ruthless steps of Vanamali Krishna's Tandava dance devastated the serpent. Blood streamed from Kaliya's mouths, his eyes popped out, and his hoods completely collapsed. Seeing their husband vanquished and heartbroken, the Nagapatnis, the wives of Kaliya, felt sorry for him and cried piteously. Out of affection for him, they thought, "Our husband will not survive unless he attains the mercy of the Lord." Abandoning all fear and shyness, the Nagapatnis put their children on their laps and approached Krishna to petition him on behalf of their husband. The Nagapatnis offered prayers to Sri Krishna with sweet voices. "O Lord, all glories unto you. O crest jewel on the head of the demigods. Who other than you can be the supreme Brahman? Brahma and Shiva constantly glorify you, the unlimited ocean of transcendental qualities. The yogis and Paramahamsas happily praise and meditate upon your lotus feet, which are forever massaged by the auspicious lotus hands of Goddess Lakshmi. As a swan extracts milk from a watery mixture, the Paramahamsas reject the four desirable goals of human life to immerse themselves in the bliss of your service. O Lord, please hear our prayer. You are the personification of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. You assume a transcendental body to annihilate all the demons. You are the oldest, the origin of everything, and yet you are an ever-fresh youth. Please give up your anger and show us your mercy. You are the life and soul of the Rajvasis. Be pleased with our prayers, O Lord, for the life of our husband is about to depart. Your lotus feet, which delight the Atmaramas, remove all mental anxieties and are rarely achieved. Even in Samadhi, now stand on the hoods of our husband. O Lord, we have no idea how Kaliya has attained such a rare fortune. This wicked snake deserves to be punished. Only by your mercy can one give up his wickedness and follow the righteous path. It is impossible for a living entity to do this on his own.
Thank you. Shri Hari Govinda.
Yes, Prabhu. O Lord, you alone maintain the entire universe created by the three modes of material nature, by the mode of goodness, which purifies the mind. You create the world with passion and by ignorance, which is darker than night. You destroy the creation. O mighty armed, it is by name only that Vishnu, who rides on Garuda, is called the maintainer, and that Brahma, who sits upon a lotus, is the creator, and that Shiva, who sits atop Nandi, is called the destroyer. O one who is dear to those who have nothing, living entities appear by different combinations of the modes of nature. Being born in the mode of ignorance, it is natural for a snake like Kaliya to be crooked. As it is impossible to see a flower creeper in the sky, it is also impossible to find gentle behavior or good manners in him. He does nothing good for anyone, and he has no power to overcome your Maya. This is the nature of one who lives in whole. His actions cannot be considered offensive because that is his very nature. So, how can you, who are eternally liberated, the ocean of mercy and full of opulence, deny him your mercy? You always treat everyone equally, and your acts convey auspiciousness. Therefore, please quickly show your mercy to our afflicted husband. It does not befit you to kill such a lowly living entity. Even Shiva, Brahma, Lakshmi, and the sannyasis who perform sadhana, meditation, and attentive service cannot understand you. Hence, how can Kaliya, who is bewildered by pride and ignorance, know you? Your playful kicks and dancing on his heads have practically killed him. Although he is a very powerful serpent, he is so weakened that only his life air remains. Indeed, he is cruel and ill behaved, but nevertheless, he is one of your living entities. Alas, we hope he will not die. Please forgive his offense and return our husband, so that we will not become widows. The gentle, beautiful Nagapatnis petitioned the Lord with piteous, choked voices. Krishna responded compassionately by dissipating his anger and reducing the punishment. Smiling sweetly, Krishna replied to the wives of Kaliya, "Do not fear. Although I am very angry, your sweet appeal has satisfied me. As a monsoon shower extinguishes a forest fire, your pleasing prayers have removed my intense anger. As a result, I will spare his life. Now I request you to take your husband and return to your original abode. Since your husband's heads are now decorated with my bliss-giving lotus footprints, Garuda will feel blessed to see them. From now on, you need not fear him."
Thank you. Tanu, if you like to finish the last page.
His false pride broken like a person bent over from carrying a heavy mass of iron, Kaliya felt relieved and happy by the Lord's assurance of protection. With fear, devotion, and submission, Kaliya said, O Lord, with all your opulence, you appear in this world to crush the demons and award the treasure of prema to your devotees. As long as the sun and the moon remain, your beautiful pastimes will give joy to the minds of your devotees. You always bring immediate auspiciousness to the unfortunate, O abode of compassion. The river for your pastimes. Therefore, you have rightly punished me for my offense of poisoning her waters. Who could have shown me more mercy than you? Your dancing has decorated my hoods with the splendid marks of your lotus feet. Now my life has become completely auspicious. O younger brother of Baldeva, by your order, I will now return to Ramanaka Island. O Supreme Lord of all the demigods, due to some misfortune, I have offended you. Oh, you who wear Makara Kundala earrings, please forgive me for my offensive behavior. Concluding his prayer, Kaliya took out some special jewels from his collection and presented a valuable ruby and pearl necklace to Krishna as a gift. Then he and his family offered obeisances to the Lord and left the Yamuna. Immediately the water transformed into the sweetest nectar. After Kaliya left, the prince of Vraja, who never enacts fresh and effulgent playful pastimes, whoever enacts fresh and effulgent playful pastimes, climbed up on the bank of the Yamuna. The golden bangles on his lotus hands glistened attractively, and his shimmering dhoti defeated the brightness of lightning.
Thank you. So please close your eyes. You will go to the final meditation and see yourself on the banks of the Yamuna. And see that the Yamuna is contaminated by the Kaliya snake. See the cowboys drinking the water and falling dead. And see Krishna reviving them with his merciful glance. See the Yamuna's water boiling due to Kaliya's poison. See the birds flying over the Yamuna, falling dead into the water. See the black, dense smoke lingering over the Yamuna. Krishna climbed on a big Kadamba tree, gathered his lock of hair, retied his turban, and tightened his belt. Krishna clenched his fist, ready for a good fight. Krishna looked at his friends and told them, "Do not fear. My effulgence will dispel all good fortune." See Krishna diving into the Yamuna and how the water is splashing all over the banks. See the boys running away to protect themselves from the poisonous water. Kaliya comes with great anger, ready to chastise the one who had come to his lake. The gems on his head diffuse light all over the sky. Sparks shot from his burning eyes and gaping mouth. Despite seeing the beauty of Krishna, Kaliya attacked him with great force, beat him on his chest, and squeezed him in his coils. The cowboys become paralyzed with grief. They feel like they had entered an ocean of poison. Fearful omen descend on Vrindavan. Jackals shrieked at the sun, who became without luster. High winds started to blow and the earth quaked. Everyone in Braj started to fear for Krishna's safety, and everyone rushed toward the Yamuna by following Krishna's footprints. Seeing the cowboys lying almost dead on the ground, and seeing Krishna in the coil of Kaliya, the Brijvasis succumbed to anguish and confusion. They piteously wailed with tears in their eyes. Hear Balaram's words, trying to comfort the Brijvasis. My brother will finish this demon very easily. Do not fear. Seeing the acute distress of the Brijvasis, Krishna decided to free himself. Hear the Kanchal and Dundubi drums of the demigods, and see Krishna starting his dance on the many hoods of the snake. Krishna followed the rhythm of the demigods as he crushed the heads of Kaliya at the same time. As the music and Krishna's dance increase in speed, Krishna's effulgence increase. As Kaliya is about to die, see the Nagapatnis approaching with their son on their laps and hear their prayers. Please also offer your own prayers. So, thank you, dear devotees. We will just hear a few ending words. One is regarding the anatta that is represented by Kaliya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Krishna Samhita explained that Kaliya represents envy, malice, cruelty, and most specifically poisoning devotees with criticism. And it's interesting to see that's, I think, a very, very strong point of poisoning others. It can be devotee, it can be non-devotee, but when we criticize someone, and especially if we criticize devotees, we are actually poisoning people around us who will hear our criticism. And because of that, it is explained that Kaliya was forgiven, but he was not able to stay in Braj. And therefore, if we want to end our life in Vrindavan consciousness, we have to be extremely careful about this anatta of poisoning others with criticism. The solution is to glorify devotees always and to preach Krishna consciousness. And there was also a very beautiful point that Purichan Prabhu brings about this Kadamba tree that was on the banks of the river Yamuna. It is described in Srimad Bhagavatam that all the trees, bushes, grass, everyone had died on the banks of the Yamuna, but only this Kadamba tree was still alive. And Purichan Prabhu explained he was still alive because he had hope. He had hope that Krishna will once come and climb on him and touch him. And because of that hope, the tree was still alive. There are also Shastric reference that a drop of nectar had fallen from Garuda on that tree. That was also another reason for the tree to still be alive. So this was a very, very beautiful and wonderful reading. I had many aha effect into this reading. But first I would like to hear from you if you like to share anything that's stick to you today from the reading. Jennifer, something was moving your heart?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you very much for today's reading. Yeah, it's really, like you said, it was just so full and yeah, so many beautiful aspects of this Leela, which are so thought-provoking and yeah, churning a lot. And yeah, yeah, now that you were just sharing about how important it is to always be in this mood of glorifying the devotees and glorifying Krishna and yeah, to be careful of not criticizing and yeah, I feel like I'm really in this prayerful mood at the moment that yeah, that I will imbibe this mood more and more. And yeah, I was wondering maybe you can share a little bit more like how yeah, because I feel like this poison is still so much in my heart, like this, envy and all of these nasty things. And I mean, in the pastime, it's so beautiful because Krishna is actually so joyfully taking out this poison. So yeah, maybe you can share more like how can this poison be really taken out by Krishna's mercy?
Thank you. Thank you. There was actually in the reading the motion that when Kaliya was looking at Krishna, when we look at Krishna with his body smeared with sandalwood pulp, that will crush our pride. And I was remembering a verse of the Gopi Gita where the gopis said that with your smile, you crush the proud of your devotees. And I was noticing how beautifully actually Krishna is taking away our bad qualities. And that's also something that struck me when Krishna was kicking the heads of the snake. That was his mercy on Kaliya's head. And so how there are so many different ways, but Krishna will really do it. Krishna will really do this full removal of those bad qualities and those bad tendencies that are still lingering around. I think if we look on our spiritual journey from the time we started Krishna consciousness, we can see already so much improvement had been done. Now we just need to work a little bit more into the subtleties here and there. But I think Krishna is really our hope. I think we don't have much strength on ourselves, but whenever we can remember him, we can serve him, we can pray to him, we can connect with him, definitely the hips of those bad qualities are actually removed. So this is really our chat. Janti?
As you were speaking, Jennifer, I also just remember Keshava Maharaj, that he was saying actually that one of the quality that is most important for us to develop and that will help us also is to become sensitive. So because most of the time, I guess we are so much in our own small world. But so to learn to see actually whoever, I mean, devotees, first of all, but whoever is in front of us, to be sensitive, how we deal with them, where are they, what is their needs, and also to encourage them. So what they need, maybe even simply smiling or giving good words. But so to really learn to become sensitive, that means that we have to come out of our own small world. So I think this is for me was always something that it's also practical. That it's it's a really a practice that on a daily basis we need to do. Also, what is from America? Raghunath, yes, the one we were mentioning, I guess, also the other time. So not maybe in this form, actually, somewhere else. He wrote 6 principles for a devotee that we can apply in our daily life. And one is also to practice, notice the good in others, and let them know about it. Because of the tendency of our mind, there is envy, there is criticism, all of us, we know it's a part of being a conditioned soul. But so we can have this practice to become sensitive more and more towards others, so to see also where they are standing, how they feel, and to try to serve them, to encourage them. And the other one also to notice, because our mind tends to notice the difference and what is wrong. So to become aware and actually notice what they are doing good and let them know. So it's really a practice that we can, So that's some thoughts that I had and what I also try to practice in my daily life. So that gradually, because Krishna, and ultimately for me, I really appreciate, because at some point the Naga Patni say, only you could move out the weaknesses that was in him. A living entity alone cannot do it. I mean, ultimately, yes, Krishna will do that because we cannot. But at the same time, by showing him that we really want him, that we don't want any longer this demoniac mentality. And I was thinking, I say, to the devotee, to the demons, you kill them, and to the devotees, you give them prema. I was thinking, okay, I'm more still of a demon. But so we need to show him that we really want him and we want to actually develop this other kind of mentality. And then definitely then by his mercy, by his infinite mercy, he will do it and he will help us. But from our side, we can work a lot on this, to be sensitive and to practice, to see the good in others and let them know.
Thank you. Thank you, Vajanti. I see Divya Kishori was placing something in the chat. Maybe to hear something like that. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And also something to be aware is also to be careful to not be poisoned by others. We have to also, if someone is criticizing others and like this, to be really careful to not hear it and to either counteract it or by praising the person, or either trying to save ourselves, to not just remain there and getting the poison. Good. Mataji Tanu, do you have something you would like to share?
Yes, Prabhuji, I have many points, but I'm little hesitant to speak, so I'll write and I'll share in the group.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Shri Hari Govinda.
Well, thank you so much. It's so nice, and especially to be able to have a discussion like this at the end of the talk. And I was also thinking about what you just last said, the poison. It's so difficult sometimes not to be influenced by it, and even in a very subtle way, even if you think I'm not going to let this affect me, but still at a very subtle level, something takes place. And I was reading also somewhere recently, a negative comment has so much more impact than a positive one. That means you say one negative thing and it destroys the entire day. And it was very interesting. I was also thinking that most of the demons Krishna has killed with his hand, and he uses his hands to do something. But I think Kaliya and maybe also Sakatasura, but Kaliya mainly, he dances and destroys him with his feet, which kind of tells us you have to take shelter of Krishna's feet. And maybe also the importance of having good people in your life, especially his wives who were devotees and always wishing well for him. Because without them, without having such good people, even if we don't appreciate them, they still want good for us and fight for us. So I think I found that also very beautiful. And of course, there were so many things taking place at the same time. I mean, it is so inconceivable what Krishna plans with one pastime. I mean, and the speciality of the pastime on Bhauma Vrindavan, which this is not even to be experienced in Goloka Vrindavan. And at once he's enjoying his parents and the gopis being worried about him, and Balram reassuring everybody, and then first the apsaras and the Gandharvas, they think, okay, let me, and even their pride he destroys, even they can't keep up with him. So all at the same time, and then so it is very, very beautiful how many things he's actually doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Jayanti?
I like it mostly. I like this that because it was very dramatic, super dramatic, like the when he went in the water and then the Kaliya took him and then the coward boys they were Krishna and then all the omens and they were all running. But then at some point there was this like change because he decided because he said okay enough is enough he thought and then you start to hear the kettle drums, and then even the Vajrabhai say, oh, what is happening? And then Krishna look at them like with a beautiful smile, and then here it starts. And then the dance and the flowers from the demigods, and the demigods that will dance also. That was just so, yeah, very, 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 very beautiful to think of Krishna like with these sweets. And also, I like it very much, the image to think first that you see, because Kaliya before was like so puffed up, it seems, no? But then at the end, like he was like, he said, all the heads, I thought they were all down. And maybe still Krishna was on one of the head. And then with all the footprints, now he had all footprints on his head. And like you say, that's also, yeah, if we keep actually the footprints of the lotus feet of the Lord on our head, possibly that will help also against our pride, envy, and all of that. Or for that matter, also the lotus feet of the spiritual master. So if every day we can, that's why I think we start our day off. We are thinking on the lotus feet of the spiritual master. That would be also a cure for our envy and our, yeah, but these beautiful pictures. And I like, last one, I like it very much. Actually, after all of that, when Krishna comes out of the water again, you can imagine like it's all actually wet because he was wet from the water. And we say with the bracelets, no, that were like shining, and now there was sun. So I thought that's very, very beautiful images.
I like the analogy of Krishna. When Krishna was in the coil of the snake, he was like a moon encircled by a dark tree. And I was thinking of Kaliya, Krishna was dancing and he was actually giving mercy to Kaliya. And it was painful for Kaliya, but it was mercy. And I was thinking of how sometimes life is tough on us, and that we can see actually this is Krishna dancing. This is Krishna like breaking down maybe some of our wrong concepts, purifying our heart. And I found it's actually a very nice way to see difficulties in life as a way for growing and as a mercy of the Lord. And like Balaram was saying, do not worry, do not worry. It's all right. Krishna is going to do the right thing. I could connect a little bit with my life and sometimes the tough time in my life, noticing this is Krishna's dancing, and this is good. This is His mercy. Wonderful. Thank you for joining. It's a very pleasure to be together and to share this precious moment of Krishna Lila. So wishing you all the best, and Krishna willing, we meet next Saturday. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai.